What's up, people? Welcome back. Hopefully you guys are doing well, and today it feels good to be back, actually. It's been a little bit since I've done a video for YouTube. I think it's been almost a month now, so I just want to apologize for the lack of consistency, but I do have a lot of things going on in my life right now, a lot of big changes, a lot of big next steps in my life, personal and career related, so there's been a lot going on, and YouTube really hasn't been a priority for me at this moment, but I ended up finding some time in my schedule to actually create a video. Today, we are going to be talking a little bit more about the mentality side of being a cinematographer, DP. And this is a huge topic for me personally because mentality is something that I find to be honestly one of the most important things to being successful in almost anything, whether that's life, being a husband, boyfriend, son, a great coworker, a great whatever. The mentality that you have is really everything. And being a DP, having a strong mentality, having a vulnerable mentality, having a mentality where you're open to change, open to new ideas, all of these things are super important to be a successful DP. And I just want to share an experience that I had a couple weeks ago about a project that essentially changed my life. I'll also be sharing a couple behind the scenes photos, just showing you guys the scale of what we were trying to accomplish. Again, I'm not going to be able to show anything in detail or what the project was about, but the reason why I want to share some of these behind the scenes photos with you is because me, as a DP, a person that is growing as a DP, someone that is also fairly new as a DP compared to a lot of people in the industry, this was a huge project for me. Monetarily wise, crew wise, scale wise, just everything was about 10x from what I normally do. So there were a lot of things that I actually had to overcome during this project, and that's primarily what we're going to be talking about today. So to give you guys a little bit of context and background, just to be totally transparent, a lot of the projects that I tend to work on fall between the $5,000 to $15,000 budget range. And for some people, that might be a lot of money, and for some people, that might be average, and some people, that might be absolutely nothing at all. And for me, that was something that I am fairly used to at this point. These are budgets that I work with pretty often, and I've gotten comfortable with the scale of that and what comes along with it, crew-wise, equipment-wise, all these things. So I have experience within that realm. But I was recently brought onto a project for a company that is quite large, and I got brought on as a DP, and this was really exciting for me. This was a huge moment, and I felt an immense amount of gratitude for this moment because this was something that, you know, you look at Instagram, you see these sets, you see these people that you're like, I can't wait to do something like that one day, or I can't wait for that opportunity to come. And one day, before you know it, you blink and then you have an email in your inbox saying that you are going to have a project like that. And for me, it honestly took me a while to actually realize that it was real. So through the month of pre-production, I still didn't really feel like this was real. It wasn't until I actually walked on set on the shoot day that I felt like, okay, this is actually happening now. Because there were a lot of things going on in pre-production that were up in the air. It took a while to get certain things, and negotiating rates and budgets and all of these different things that come along with the project of this scale, it leaves a lot of uncertainty as to, is this project actually going to get done? And with a great team, great production and everything, it ended up getting done, and it got done really well. But what I really want to talk about today is, as a DP, this was, again, the biggest project I've ever had to shoot in my entire life. I had an amazing gaffer, I had an amazing key grip, and this was my first time working with a very, very talented key grip. Previously, most of my shoots just deal with, you know, combo stands, C-stands, stuff along those lines. But this was the first time I was introduced to some serious machinery. I was introduced to condors. I was introduced to 20 by frames, 20 by rags, and, you know, a big crew. I had about 4 grips, 4 electrics, gaffer, key grip, AC, second AC, Steadicam. So I had a lot of people that were looking for my guidance and my direction. Now, normally I am dealing with a 2-3 person crew, maybe, but this time I was dealing with a 10, 11 person crew. And, I don't like to use my age as any factor in anything, but obviously being the youngest person on set by quite a number of years, that could be slightly intimidating when you're working with people that have been in the industry for 10, 12 years, and they are seasoned. They know exactly what they're doing, but they're looking for you. They're looking to you for that guidance and that direction, and that could be slightly intimidating. But you also have to realize that you're getting hired for a particular reason, whether that's a director that hires you or a production company that hires you, agency. They saw something in you that they want for this project. And it's so easy to fall into the trap of fear that you might not be able to accomplish this. You're not good enough for this. Why did they pick me? I'm just going to absolutely fail. And it's really easy to fall into a trap like that. And I sometimes fell into that trap as well. It's almost like that imposter syndrome where you don't believe that you actually deserve to be in the position that you're at. And just to tag along on top of that, the most important part about being a DP when it comes to a crew this size and a scale this size is your leadership ability. And I feel as though the past 2 years or however long I've been doing this, plus some other jobs that I've had where I might have had some leadership experience, has all brought me to this point where I have a bit of confidence in my leadership skills. And, there's a lot of factors that come with leadership. Sometimes I find that I might get overwhelmed because I want to be able to control every single little thing that, I'm in charge of. But that, I feel, isn't the case. And I think that is a hindrance in becoming the best leader that you can. Part of being a great leader is hiring the right people, bringing on the right people to accomplish the job as best as you possibly can, as quickly as you can, as efficiently and as safely as you can. And with the team that I brought on, with the amazing key grip that I had, my gaffer that I had, my first AC, my Steadicam, all of these people are extremely talented in what they do, and they have such amazing knowledge that I don't have, that I need to lean on to be able to accomplish this. So something that I grew with as a leader was letting go of more things instead of trying to take on more things. And that might be counter to what you're possibly thinking as a leader in these bigger scenarios. But at the end of the day, when you're hiring these people to be a great leader, you have to entrust them to do their job properly. If you start micromanaging everybody, they might not be willing to, take a creative idea that they might have, or they might not be able to feel comfortable bringing that idea to you. They might also get annoyed with you because they don't have the freedom to, try things. And I think that's something that I really learned was, okay, I'm hiring this guy because he has 10, 15 years worth of experience in projects of this scale and this size. He has an understanding of things that I have no idea about. So my job is to be able to relay the message to him of what our goals are, what we're looking to accomplish, how we're looking to accomplish it. And I trust that you have the gear needed based on what we discussed in the equipment, rentals, and things along those lines now to get the job done. And, that was really, invigorating for me because that freed me up to actually sit down with the director more in the production and really talk about the creative, because at the end of the day, as a DP, you're in charge of the visual element in, the commercial, the story. You don't always have to deal with the typical, I want to use this combo stand. Oh, that's the wrong stand. Bring this stand. I need an extra stand back. Sometimes that's not important to you as a DP. That's why you have great crew like Grips and Electrics to do all of those things to accomplish the whole project. So being able to let go of a lot of things really allowed me to focus on the creative and being able to accomplish what we needed to at the level that everyone was expecting us to, accomplish. Besides leadership, a big thing that I find is really important in scenarios like this is, allowing fear to motivate you a little bit. There were times where I was very confident that, I could do this without a doubt. I know that I'm capable of doing this, and that is also equally important. But sometimes you have these fears where you might say, I don't know if I could do this. Do I have this correct? Did we talk about this enough? And, sometimes those things are actually good because it makes you kind of reevaluate the steps that you took to get where you are now. because there were times where I might have had a thought where maybe we didn't talk about this one scene in, too deeply, and we ended up talking about it a little bit more to be able to, flesh out the details even more. And especially when it comes to equipment and things needed, if I have a question about what the key grip is trying to do or what the gaffer is trying to do, I ask those questions because I want to learn as well. So, being vulnerable in the scenarios and allowing the people that you hire to also give you information and teach you about certain things is extremely valuable, and it'll separate you from a lot of people that are trying to really, fake it and put on a show, essentially. I like to, especially when I'm working with crews that are more knowledgeable than me and I'm working on projects that are a bigger scale than what I normally do, I really like to be honest with my key people, my gaffer, my key grip, and, say to them, listen, I'm growing. This is a growing stage for me. I haven't really done many projects of this scale before, so I'm going to lean onto you to kind of guide me and give me knowledge and teach me how to do things properly. And if I have an idea and you think it could be done better, I want to know how it could be done better. And for me, this allows my key people, my teammates, essentially to, open up a little bit more and be able to trust me. And I think that is one of the biggest things to accomplish a project is trust. If your key people, if your crew, if your team can't trust you or feel comfortable with you, feel open, feel honest, you're going to have a very disorganized set. You're not going to have things done properly, and attitudes might not be at the best. People might be angry on set, people might be annoyed. And when you're around production and agency and clients, you want to make sure that your entire crew is happy. You want to make sure that they're willing to do these things and with a smile, because at the end of the day, the crew is a representation of you as a DP. So you always want to make sure that you are being truthful with your crew, you are being transparent, you're being honest, and you're also keeping an open mind, allowing for ideas, allowing for information, allowing for all these new things to come into play so that you can accomplish this job better. And also it allows the crew and the key members to feel as part of their being a valuable team member and being creative. And that is so, so important. The last thing that I want to talk about is just saying yes. And, this comes with some risk, I would have to say. And for some people, it might not be the best thing in the world. But, when you get presented with an opportunity where you're put in a position where you're being stretched, or, this is something brand new, this is a level that you have yet to achieve or haven't even gotten close to a level like this before, but you're presented with this opportunity. There's a weird balance between saying, yes, I'm going to take this risk. I know I could do it. If I build the right team out, I know I can accomplish this. But there's also a part where you have to look at it and say, am I really stretching this too thin? Am I capable of really doing this? Or am I just is this going to be an utter failure? I like to think sometimes that if I were presented with a Netflix series right now that was $20 million as a DP, that I would love to say yes. But, at the end of the day, I would really have to think about that, because yes, that's the dream that I am looking for. That is what I want to do. But am I ready for that? Am I capable of actually being able to handle something like that? I don't know. And I'm not saying that all of you that are watching are going to be presented with Netflix things or whatever it is. If you're working on $1,000 jobs, that Netflix thing might be a $5,000 job where you might not feel comfortable with that yet, or the $10,000, but whatever stage you're in, when you get presented with a new opportunity, you have to really reflect and understand your skills, understand where you want to go, and is this something that you could really do? Can you push yourself and really try and really build a great team to accomplish this and set yourself up for that next stage in your career? Because without taking risks, without, taking that next step forward, you're going to be in that same place for the rest of your life. You're always going to be doing those $1,000 jobs. You're always going to be doing the $5,000, $10,000 jobs. You're not going to be doing the $50,000, $150,000, $250,000, $1 million jobs. You're not going to get to that point without taking those risks. So my advice is to really, take every opportunity as humbly as you can with an objective mentality. And I honestly like to take a step back before I always answer those opportunities. And I like to breathe. I like to, calculate a little bit about what this opportunity is. Like, what am I looking for out of this opportunity? What can I bring to the table through this project? And then I'll answer. But, sometimes you don't want to answer immediately because you might regret it. You might need to think about it for a little bit, and that's totally okay. But again, at the end of the day, if you want to move forward with your career, you're going to have to take those risks. Those risks are going to be scary. You might not know how to accomplish it right now, but I can almost guarantee you that you will get it done if you build the right team out. You have great people alongside of you that are looking to get the same job done as you are with the same amount of passion. You will get it done. And by the end of that shoot, you will feel like an entirely different person. That's why I said in the beginning, this shoot changed my life, because I felt like I grew as an artist, as a person, as a leader, as, I feel like I just grew immensely from this entire project, from being a small, little, fearful kid who got a big opportunity to someone that, these companies can trust to actually shoot a project of this scale in a campaign like this. And that just really, it helped my confidence, my self-confidence, to know that this is something that I can do. And it re-emphasized the fact that this is what I'm meant to do in my life. So that's it for today. Hopefully you guys, felt a little bit through this message. Take those risks, be confident, understand the fear, understand the balance of fear and confidence, and, try your best, build a great team. Always be open to new information, new techniques, learn. And as a DP, it's important to be transparent, be honest, and to allow people their creative freedom. And that's how you're going to succeed. So thank you guys, as always, for watching. Hopefully I'll be able to create more consistent stuff coming up, but in the next couple months, my life is going to get even more hectic. I got some pretty big news coming up, but I'm not going to share it until it actually happens. So thank you, as always. Until next time, have a great day. Peace out.